Huh? Is he singing about his toupee? Yeah. He's singing about his hell toupee. He hates his toupee. Oh, Paul Stanley's greatest moment. Yeah, no kidding. MTV Unplugged. I love you. I really love you. Baby, 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 baby. Love, wow, 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 love you. Now, 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 now. Oh, yeah. Man, why didn't you retire right at that moment? That should have been the moment where Paul Stanley just put down his guitar, stood up, said, "Thank you very much. We're done. Thank you and good night." Yeah. You know, he should have quit when he was on top. Paul, you should have quit when you were on top. What are you talking about? I can still rock and roll all night and party every day. Yeah, I know. But, wow. That was such a cool moment in history. Yeah, that was really fun when we played the acoustic concert on the MTV Unplugged. Yeah, why do they call it Unplugged? You guys were clearly plugged in. I don't know. But, yeah, Kiss should have that should have been the final farewell concert. Everybody, after the MTV thing, and they brought Ace and Peter back, and it was like a reunion of you know, all the guys in Kiss, and it was a great show. But instead, I think they decided to take a dead horse and beat it for the next 30 years. And here we are, end of the road tour. So anyway, hey, Kaya Thunder, bonjour. How you doing? What do you think, Kaya? When should Kiss have retired? Are you like so many, you know, so-called Kiss fans who love that they're still together? I guess myself included. Or do you wish they had quit when they still had their dignity? When they were still singing about hell toupees? You know, Paul Stanley got that wig, and he was like, "This isn't a wig, this is a hell toupee. Will be my hell toupee." Nah. You're silly. I know. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Welcome back to Boujou, Nana Boujou, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. I am Nana Boujou. Over here, yeah, the lovely and the talented Natasha. Ekado Boujou, Weenie Mushane. Say hello to the people. Hello to the people. How you doing? And over here, the rock star cartoonist, Michael Lyons. Ekado Boujou, Niji. Say hello, brother. Hello, everyone. How you doing? What do you think, Michael? Do you think Paul Stanley should have retired during the Unplugged, whatever? Yeah, completely. I mean, I was happy when they got back together at the time, but looking back, that they should have never did the reunion tour. They never should have put the makeup back on. You know, their legacy would have been so much greater if they had quit that night. Yeah, huh? I mean, these are important issues of the day. Yeah, people all want to talk about, oh, COVID. Oh, no. Yeah, whatever. I think what we need to talk about on this show is Paul Stanley's voice. When should Kiss have, retired? These are the important issues of today. Huh, sweetie? If you say so. Yeah. Grassroots Indians agrees with me. Hey, we should give some gold stars out. Oh, yeah. Gold star for Kaya. Thank you for being first in class, Kaya. Gold star for the Mighty Thunder. Gold star for Kaya Thunder. And a silver star for Grassroots Indians. Boozhoo. The Boozhoo crew is filing in. But that's not what we're here for today. Huh, sweetie? What are you talking about? I want to learn some... Whoops. I didn't do a good job with this. Today is Thirsty Thursday. It is the fourth day. Neo Gija good. Bejig nijnes way ni win. Nanin go to sway. Neo Gija good. Fourth day. Go forth and multiply. That's what they told us in the Bible. You must go forth on the fourth day, on the Thirsty Thursday, huh, sweetie? Thirsty Thursday? Yep. Noonday minique, noonday minique, noonday minique, noonday minique, noonday minique. Oh, I'm thirsty. Nope. I got it. Noonday minique. I'm thirsty, sweetie. Are you thirsty? Yep. I need a drink. Where's my water? Oh, it's way over there. Noonday minique, noonday minique. When you're thirsty and you need something to bring you up, there's only one thing that's going to do it the way you want it. Huh, Paul? That's right. And I'm talking about cold gin. What? Cold gin. I can't hear you. I said cold gin, silly. Oh, brother. Cold gin, sweetie. When you're down in the dumps and you need something to bring you up, Paul Stanley says you need some cold gin. I think Ace Frehley wrote that song. Oh, right. I'm sorry. Sorry, Paul. That's okay. Yeah, a lot of people don't remember this, but Ace Frehley wrote the song Cold Gin. But on the original recording, it was actually Gene Simmons who sang the song. So there you go, kids. This has been your Ojibwe language lesson. That's Gene Simmons on the original Cold Gin. I guess he always sang it. But Ace would then start singing with him later on when he got more comfortable. The noonday minique. I'm thirsty. And Nimbukka day. I'm hungry. I'm both. As Thomas Built a Fire would say. I'm thirsty and I'm hungry. I'm both. The noonday minique. I'm thirsty. Oh, I could really use a drink. Nimbukka day. I'm hungry. I'm hungry like the wolf. Are you hungry like Duran Duran? Hungry like the wolf. Hungry like the wolf. Her name is Rio. And she dances on the sand, you guys. Her name is Rio, and she dances on the sand. Oh, Rio, Rio, dance across the Rio Grande. Duran Duran. Today in Anishinaabe history and culture, we're going to discuss about the Anishinaabe people known as Duran Duran. A lot of people are confused by this. They say, oh, I didn't know Duran Duran were Anishinaabe. Well, kids, I don't want you to know that. You see, the government is covering up so much about our people. You see, I don't know. What are you talking about? I'm thirsty. The noonday minique. And I'm hungry. Nimbukka day. You want to go to Country Kitchen? Hey, guess what, sweetie? What's that? We got an email from Penny. Yeah. At our radio station. And she goes, what are Nana Buju's and Natasha's favorite place to eat? Or where does Michael like to buy his art supplies? I'm asking for a friend. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, we love to. And I wrote her back. And I said, well, we love to eat at Country Kitchen. Not for the food. It's kind of expensive, actually. That's what I'm realizing. After the coffee and the tip, you're going to drop $20 just having eggs at Country Kitchen. But anyway, I'm there for the service. They got a couple of the cutest, at least one, really cute waitress. Hey, you better not talk like that. Yeah, okay. But so I told her, I think somebody wants to send us a gift card. And I don't know who it is. I don't know if it's our lovely, friends at the radio station, or if it's, one of our fans. Do you think we got a fan? Yep. I think we have a fan from the radio who wants to send us some treats. But anyway, so I told her, yeah, and Michael buys his art supplies at Walmart, which he doesn't, but, it's easy for people to get gift cards at Walmart. So, miigwech. Hey, Brian Souls is here. Bonjour, Brian. What's going on? Gi nunde minekwe, Anna? Are you thirsty? Thirsty, you? Okay, so here's the lesson, kids. So thirsty, the word for thirsty is actually nunde minekwe. Nunde minekwe. Thirsty. But if you say, I'm thirsty, you'd say, nin nunde minekwe. Nunde minekwe, nunde minekwe. Right? But if you want to ask somebody, hey, you thirsty? You thirsty? You'd say, gi nunde minekwe with a G. Gi. Gi nunde minekwe. And then add an inna. Inna. Gi nunde minekwe na. Minekwe na. Just a na, I guess. That's like a question mark. So you go, Gi nunde minekwe na. Gi nunde minekwe na. Are you thirsty? Do you want some cold gin? Nah. Don't be offering children cold gin. What, these people? You think these people watching are children? Yeah, we're a children's show. Yeah, okay. The noonday man. Jim Dunn's no kid. Jim Dunn showed up with 2 beers. Hey, Jim, why don't you lay those beers on the table? We'll talk politics and drink some beers. Oh, the noonday minute. That's how men used to figure stuff out. We get down on a table with some beers. Come on, men. Let's sit around this table and have some beers and discuss issues. But I had to go and quit drinking. That was stupid, huh? Yeah, that was really dumb. I can't believe it. Yeah. Yeah, it used to be fun to drink, but it's got too many problems. It'll make you sick and tired. You'll get sick and tired of being sick and tired if you become a drinker. So here's a little public service announcement to the children. You know what? There's more to life than getting drunk. Don't feel like you're a weirdo if you're not interested in getting drunk with your buddies. I mean, yeah, it's super fun. And you get to go out in the woods and listen to Van Halen while you stand around a fire with your best friends and your arm around a girl, looking at the moonlight, feeling like you don't have a care in the world, celebrating life, and toasting your good fortune that you and all your friends could be together at such a time. And all you need is each other and a case of Michelob Gold. Today's Ojibwe language lesson is brought to you by Budweiser and Pabst Blue Ribbon. Pabst Blue Ribbon, the silver bullet. What are you talking about? Maybe we could get, if we start doing commercials, beer commercials, we could get a sponsor for the show. You think we want to start sponsoring beer commercials? Yeah, why not? I never saw Sesame Street do that. Yeah, but Sesame Street does much worse. What do you mean? Their whole trans agenda. Oh, yeah. Someday we'll find it. The rainbow connection. The lovers. The dreamers and Omakaki. Kermit the Frog. Nagoyab is a rainbow. Have you been half asleep? And have you heard voices? I don't have the lyrics. I have some. Rainbows are visions, but only illusions. Okay, what are you trying to say here? You creep. Why are there so many songs about rainbows? And what's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, but only illusions. And rainbows have nothing to hide. Huh, sweetie? That's what they say. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection. The lovers. That's right, little children. Tuning into Sesame Street, we're singing about lovers. The lovers, the dreamers, and peds. All of us under it. Who said that every wish would be heard and answered? Who said that? Nobody said every wish would be heard and answered. We wished on the morning. We wished. No, the lyric is when wished on the morning star. Somebody thought of that and someone believed it. Who said that every wish would be heard and answered? When wished on the morning star. Whoops. Somebody thought of that and someone believed it. The morning star. Isn't the morning star Satan? I don't know. Sometimes the morning star refers to Satan, and sometimes I think it refers to Jesus. So wishing upon Jesus or Satan, somebody said it. If you wished upon, who wishes upon a morning star? I think it is a Satan worshipping thing. You know, the rainbow connection. What is, Kermit the Omakaki? Kermit the Omakaki. He's got an agenda, sweetie. Should we call him up? You got his number? Yeah, hang on. Kermit the Frog. Kermit the Frog. Okay, hold on. Here it is. Ba-ba-ba-ba-da. Do-do-do-do. We're going to call Kermit. It's ringing. All right. Hello, is this Kermit? Hi, Kermit. It's Natasha. Yeah, from the Boozhoo Nana Boozhoo podcast. Say, Nana Boozhoo has some questions for you. Would you like to be on the air? Okay, I'm going to transfer you. All right, thanks. Okay, sweeties, on line 2. Line 2, huh? Oh, his picture's a little big. Hello, Kermit. Hello there, Nana Boozhoo. How you doing? Oh, I'm doing just great. Yay! Yeah, okay. Say, can I ask you some questions about your song, Rainbow Connection? Oh, yeah, sure. What would you like to know? Okay, first of all, does this have anything to do with the rainbow connection, like the gay thing? Yeah, of course it does. It's about LGBTQ plus and how with one big rainbow and everybody can love each other. Yay! Okay, that's what I thought. You were really ahead of the curve coming out with that song in like the early 70s, huh? Yeah, well, I thought it was important that children learned that love is love and you can choose your own gender. What? Yeah, that's right. Me and Miss Piggy, we believe that a child can choose their gender. They can consent to choosing their gender. No offense, but that doesn't seem like something, I don't know, Sesame Street should really be weighing in on. Are you sure about this? Oh, yeah, that's right. I mean, experts agree that gender is a social construct and love is love. And so, we're just, the Rainbow Connection is this pride we all feel in, our sexual sins. Oh, okay. So the Rainbow Connection, is that kind of like a sodomy reference? I mean, I don't mean to talk about this one so early in the morning. No, it's okay. We're completely open. Yay! All right. Someday we'll find it. The Rainbow Connection. The lovers. Why the lovers? That doesn't seem appropriate either. No, it's okay. I mean, I think it's important that in a children's show, you talk about the issues. That's how come I sang this song with the transgendered story hour person. Oh yeah, that wasn't even that long ago. What was that about? Well, the people at PBS, they called me and they were like, "Hey Kermit, would you like to sing with a transgendered woman?" And I was like, "Is it Caitlin?" And they were like, "No, it's just some, transgendered stripper who wants to be on the show." And I was like, "Yay! Let's sing Rainbow Connection." Is that how that went down? Yep. And now kids can learn to, um, accept. Okay. I don't know. I guess I was sort of hoping, no offense, Kermit, that if we went down this road and I started talking about the lyrics of that song and then called you up and made you kind of defend all this creepy imagery in your... I mean, what's going on over there? What do you mean? Well, like Gonzo transitioned apparently. Yep, that's right. Gonzo identifies as a woman now. Yeah. Baby Gonzo. Yep, because babies can choose their gender too. Just ask Gonzo. Well, I mean, I don't know. Okay. But here's my point. Half an hour ago when I said, "Hey, that's funny, let's talk about that on the show," I thought this would be a lot more funny than it was. Oh, really? Yeah. I mean, it's not your fault. No, that's okay. Um, oh, what can I do? I think I'm just going to bail on this bit. Okay. Oh, say, Nanabuju, can I ask you something? Well, sure. How do you say, "I will see you again" in Ojibwe? Oh, we say, "Gigawaba Min, Minowa." Gigawaba Min, Minowa! Yay! Yeah, okay. Gigawaba Min, Minowa. Kermit. What did I do with that? All right, big swing and a miss. Well, you can't knock it out of the park every time. I got halfway into that and I realized I don't really care. Naguayab, rainbow. Oma kaki was the frog. I thought that'd be funnier. Hey, what? Are you sleeping on the show? Oh no, I'm just resting my eyes. Dude, we're on live. No, it's fine. You're doing great. Michael Lyons, you guys. Hey, everyone. Can't believe you just fall asleep on me. Yeah, Oh, you know what it is? What's that? We don't get many negative comments, many thumbs down. I mean, frankly, we don't get many views, so. But we got two comments from the same person who are pretty mad at us. Really? Yeah, I remember like a week ago we were making fun of those signs that you see in front of the lawns that says, "In this house we believe science is real, Black Lives Matter, global warming is going to kill us," or whatever. Love is love. And the lady took exception to me making fun of people saying love is love. And how I said, "Yeah, that's what pedophiles say," and the lady wrote in and says, "You're way off base, that's unfunny. Why are you picking on people from the LGBTQ plus community?" And I wrote back, said, "Oh, I think you forgot LGBTQ 2S plus. Remember? Two Spirit? Aren't you guys co-opting our way?" But she was mad at us, gave us a thumbs down. "Don't make fun of the gays," she said. I'm sorry, but it's hilarious. And it's not even hilarious. It's just that I know I'm not supposed to talk about this stuff, so I can't help it. I know. What is that? Self-destruction. Do you ever feel self-destructive? Do you ever do stuff you know is not good for you, but you do it anyway? You just don't care. It's like, yeah, I don't care. I gotta scratch this itch. I shouldn't pick at this, but and it just turns into a bigger thing. Yeah. Do you know what I'm talking about, Jim? Jim says, "Got some friends coming in from out of town. We're going to go try and catch some crabs." Oh, no, Jim. I'm telling you, don't look for those girls at the casino. You're going to catch crabs. Sweetie! What? Don't be gross. He says he's going to go try to catch some crabs. Yeah, I can tell you where to go. You know. Go to the Big Tap at closing. There's lots of women down there who got that crabs. Young people don't understand this. Back in the days of their grandfathers, that was something that people would pass to each other. People of ill repute. They go, oh, here. Oh, I'm scratching. And you realize your girlfriend gave you the crabs. But I don't think Jim's talking about that. No, I do not think Jim's talking about those kind of crabs. Okay. Jim's cracking up. Yeah. You want to catch the crabs? Hey, Missy, are you here? No, I'm just kidding. So, what else is going on? The words of the day. Got long black fella. Hey, sweetie. Yeah? You got a call. Another call? Oh, really? Yeah, it's online too. All right. Caller. You're on. Welcome to Buju Nana Buju. You're on the air.
Oh, yeah, sir, Nana Buju. How are you, my fine sir?
Oh, hey, Prince Harry. Prince Harry, sweetie. Yeah, it's Prince. Hi, Harry.
Oh, yes, hello there. Natasha, how are you, my dear?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Say, Nana Buju, I was wondering, did you catch my picture on the cover of that magazine?
Oh, yeah, you and Megan were on the cover of a magazine. Top 100 most influential people in the world. You're right on the cover. Congratulations.
Yes, I wanted to call in and, and please beg for your, can you tell your viewers that Megan and I, we just want to live a quiet life away from the spotlight, I renounced my royalty and moved here to the country because, well, I wanted to live outside of the spotlight. I want to start my family and I don't want all this fuss.
Then why are you constantly interviewing yourselves and, taking pictures and all this stuff if you guys don't want so much attention?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I've come here today and I'd like to give a public announcement that we would like to our privacy, if you will.
You want your privacy?
I believe it's pronounced privacy.
Okay, privacy, as they say in England.
Yes, that's right. Megan and I were trying to start our family without all the scrutiny of the public attention,
Yeah, well, here's just some advice. Quit doing interviews. Don't go on Oprah. You don't want so much attention.
Yes, I suppose. Quite right, I guess.
You okay, dude?
No, it's awfully early here,
Yeah, it's awfully early here, too. All right. Anything? So you just called up to tell us to quit paying attention to you?
Yes, that's right. Quite right.
We weren't even talking about you.
Well, I appreciate that.
Hey, is Megan there?
Megan, my lovely wife.
Yeah. Can I talk to her?
Yeah, sure. Just a minute. Darling, Nana Buju, he wants to talk to you.
Oh my God, Nana Buju, the Nana Buju podcast?
Yes, quite right.
Oh, great. Hey, Nana Buju. Hey, Megan, what's going on? Oh my God, I can't believe it. I'm on the Nana Buju podcast. That's great. Yeah, thanks. How you doing? Oh, yeah, great. This is great. I raised the children, and I just want, Harry and I, we just want to live a quiet life, and we just want our privacy. You're American. You can say privacy. Oh, yeah, okay. Okay. So you want some privacy. You don't want to be an influencer. Yeah, we moved to California, and I went on Oprah to tell everyone to please leave us alone. Okay. To be honest, I don't think most of us really think about you that much. We don't really care. I mean, you're kind of hilarious because you call. I think it's fun for people to just sort of watch you be so disrespectful to the royal family. Unwittingly, call them racist, and you're white.
No, I'm a lady in the hood. Me and my sisters, I'm black.
Yeah, that's what I hear. Um, and but then you're constantly, barging your presence in on the cultural awareness, telling us to leave you alone. It's like, okay, we're not going to bother you anymore. Just please leave us alone. Maybe that's what I want to say. Yeah, okay. All right. But otherwise, you're doing pretty well.
Oh, I'm doing great, but I'm so thirsty. How do you say thirsty in Ojibwe?
Oh, funny you should ask. That's our word for the day. Nanoonday Minakwe.
What?
We say Nanoonday Minakwe.
Nanoonday Minakwe. Oh, I can't believe it.
Yep, I'm thirsty.
Nanoonday Minakwe. I'm thirsty. I'm hungry too.
Oh, then you would say Nimbuckaday.
Nimbakade, I'm hungry. Hey, honey, I'm hungry. Oh, yes, darling. I'll start making breakfast straight away. Oh, thank. Can you make some eggs? Oh, yes, dear. I'll make you some eggs. Okay. Well, I gotta go now, Bushi. I'm gonna have some eggs.
Okay. Gigawabamin, Minawa.
Okay. Gigawabamin, Minawa.
Right. Thanks. Meghan Merkel.
Yeah, she's not so bad.
Nah. I think we've been kind of too hard on that couple. They're millennials. What do we really expect?
Yeah,
Hey, look, Jim just got crabs.
What? Oh, those little these emojis.
I don't know, man. Thursday. Thirsty Thursday. So, sweetie, let me ask you something.
What's that?
Do you love me?
Yes.
No, I mean, like, do you really love me?
Yes.
I mean, I just gotta know if you really, 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 really love me.
I just gotta know.
I mean, your backstage pass and your black sunglasses, it makes you look just like a queen.
Even the fans that know your face from all of the magazines.
But do you love me? All right, let's call this next section Paul Stanley Poetry.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. And now time now for Paul Stanley Poetry.
Okay, thank you, Paul.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, this is where I'm gonna read some lyrics from a popular Kiss song, and we can analyze and dissect what they mean. All right. Do you love me? Do you love me? I got to know. Do you love me? How's the song start? I'm pretending to read it, but I'm just trying to. Oh, here we go. Do You Love Me by Paul Stanley. You really like my limousine. You like the way the wheels roll. You like my 7-inch leather heels. I'm going to all of the shows. But do you love me? Now, sweetie, what is Paul Stanley trying to say here?
I think he's describing his life, and he's asking her, you like my limousine, and you like the way the wheels roll.
Yeah, that's why women like limousines. Hey, look at that. The wheels, they roll. Huh, I like that. I hate it when wheels don't roll. Yeah, go on.
And then he says, you like my 7-inch leather heels, because, they wear the tall heels.
Yep, the platform shoes, boots.
Yeah, but then he wants to know, do you love me? He wants to know if is it true love, or is she just a gold digger?
Yeah. Is she a gold digger? She's not messing with this. What would rhyme with digger? Digger. I can't think of anything. Yeah. So that's Do You Love Me? Up next, this is from a poem called I Want You. Okay, that's why I want you to start. I want, I want you. Be with you. You can run, you can hide, but you never get away. All right, I'll just start there. You can run, you can hide, but you never get away. You can lie and deny, but you know you're gonna pay. Hikes. Never loved, never thought you could. I'll treat you right. Girl, you know I would. This is good poetry. Good poetry, Paul. Hey, thanks. You can fight, but tonight, see all the rhymes? There's nothing you can do. I want you. Sweetie, you can fight, but tonight, there's nothing you can do. What are you threatening me? Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Paul Stanley's love poetry is like a threat. You can lie and deny, but you know you're going to pay. And you're going to pay for lying and denying. Lying and denying. Yeah, first of all, you make up those lies. Oh, we landed on the moon. Yeah, right. We landed on the moon, and then you denied that you lied about that. You know, oh yeah, we lied. We went to the moon. No, you didn't. Yeah, we did. I deny your accusation. But you're going to pay NASA. No, they're not. They're going to make millions of dollars every day. Yeah, I know. You can lie and deny, but you know you're going to pay. You never loved, never thought you could. Wally Bear, girl, you know I would. Boozoo, Wally Bear, 83836. Wally Bear. Boozoo, Wally Bear. It's good to see you. And RJ's here. Arlene. Boozoo. So today, come on, enough goofing around. We've got to talk about something serious, sweetie. What's that? How I didn't prepare anything again. That's okay. You want to watch more Kiss videos? No. She walks these hills in a long black veil. This is a story. Okay, here we go. This is for the kids. Back in the days of the grandfathers, people used to write songs that would have a melody what a person would have to sing. They didn't just rap lyrics like a bad poem. They would actually sing with a melody. And they called this music. And sometimes in the singers, they were also storytellers. Arazuke Winini. Arazuke Winini. The storyteller. In the Anishinaabe culture, the storyteller was a very important member of the community. You know, there's a lot of like, kind of, what do they call it? You know, like the traditional teachings and stuff around, oh, the stories, do not tell the traditional stories until the snow is on the ground. That is the way of the Anishinaabe, you know. And then they go, well, you can just tell, well, you can still tell stories. I mean, like, where were you? I can't tell the story until winter, you know. It's like, nah, it's okay, you can tell stories. So I want to tell a story that was in a song. The song was called Long Black Veil. And I think it's an Irish song. I think the Irish people from the island of Ireland. Hey, by the way, you know what I learned? What? You know how they call North America Turtle Island? Mishike Minase? Yeah. Well, I was watching this video, and the guy is a flat earth video. And he goes, people always ask, oh, you know, if you get to the edge, won't you fall off? And he goes, no, think of the earth like a lake. You don't fall off the edge of a lake when you get to the edge. You know, it's just water surrounded by ice, but think of the continents as islands, you know, and when you look at the map, you go, oh yeah, okay. It is a big round water body with islands, and North America is shaped like a turtle. And the Ojibways knew that, and they called it Turtle Island. Anyway, Brian says, blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be filled. Nice! Brian slapping down some Matthew 5:6. Hey, way to go, Brian. I don't know why I like that. It's like, hey, noonday Minnequay, Nimbaka de. thirst and hunger. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be filled. Yeah, that's my favorite so far passage in the Bible. Not that I know many, but the Sermon on the Mount. Anyway, so back in the days of the grandfathers, there was a woman who was married to a man, and the man had a best friend. It was like his brother. That's kind of part of our way too. Lots of times, Anishinaabe men will have friendships with other men that are so strong, so close, so much trust that we call them. Our word for friend, male friend, and our word for brother. I mean, there's Nisaya, his brother, but Niji, it doesn't just mean friend. It really does mean like brother. And so this guy, he was in love with a woman, and he had a best friend. But one day, the woman he loved hooked up with his best friend. And that happened. At the same time, on the other part of town, a man was killed. And the witnesses to the crime, they saw this guy who looked just like the man's friend who was sleeping with his wife. And so an investigation was done, and they arrested the guy. And they brought him before the judge. And the judge looked at him. He said, "Listen, man, last night there was this murder. And all these people say that the slayer, he looked a lot like you. So tell me, I'm asking you, where were you last night? If you can tell me where you were, you won't have to die. But otherwise, this is back in the day, man. They didn't kid around. Some people say, I saw that guy. He killed that guy. The judge would say, okay, string him up. But the guy had a dilemma. He had to go, okay, I could save my life. I could tell the judge, yeah, by the way, I was making time with my best friend's wife. Yep, you hear that, people? Me. I'm that kind of scumbag. Not only did I hook up with this married chick, I hooked up with my best friend's wife. I can't tell, because, number one, it's embarrassing. I'm probably going to catch crabs. But number two, I don't want to break my friend's heart. And I don't want to tell this woman. I mean, yeah, she could come forward, I guess, save my life. But she doesn't do that. And the man just stays quiet. He won't say anything to the judge. And so the judge was like, well, all right then. I got no other choice but to string you up like the murdering dog you are. And so he gets hung and he dies. Years go by, and people start to noticing that every year on the day of his death, this strange woman in a long black veil, she goes up to the cemetery, and she goes and she stands over that grave, over the bones of her lover who died keeping their secret. She walks these hills in a long black veil. She visits my grave and the night winds wail. You know what I like about that song? What? It's the guy singing it. He's singing, that's the dead guy. He's already dead. He's singing from the grave. Hey, yeah, that's right. So the whole story in this song is narrated from the guy after he died, which is pretty cool, I think. So I'd like to dedicate this song to anybody who's ever snagged their best friend's wife and then got accused of murder but couldn't defend himself because he wanted to keep the secret. So if that's you, this song is for you. And miigwech, bisandawiag. Up next, the lovely and the talented Natasha. Nah! No, you really are. Oh, yeah, okay. All right, I'll see you again. This is Long Black Veil. Bum bum ba-dum ba-dum bum 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 ba-dum ba-dum bum 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 ba-dum ba-dum bum 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 ba-dum ba-dum bum.
10 years ago, on a cold, dark night, someone was killed beneath the town hall light. There were few at the scene. They all agreed that the slayer who ran, he looked a lot like me. She walks these hills in a long black veil. She visits my grave and the night winds wail. Nobody knows, nobody sees, nobody knows but me.
I love that song. And there's Benjamin. Bum bum ba-dum ba-dum bum. She walks these hills, snagging a single Native American guy. Snag, single Native American guy. Grassroots Indians, way on, Miss Thunder. That's Miss Thunder for Dusty. So how you doing, everybody? Another Thursday. Neo Keisha good. La 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 la. How's it going, Michael? I'm doing great. How are you? Not too bad. Just hanging out with the Bougie crew. You gonna do laundry today? Yeah, I think so. It's been, 3 weeks. There's a lot of dirty laundry in there. I know. How does that pile up? We wear the same stuff every day, and somehow still we go through tons of clothing. I'm still waiting for the future. What do you mean? You know how, like, in every science fiction movie, everybody's wearing the same outfit? Everyone just has, like, a uniform, some big silver jumpsuit. There's a big V, just one outfit. Or like in Star Trek, everyone just wears the same outfit every day. When's society going to turn into that? Yeah, it's coming, because we saw it on Star Trek. Yeah. You can choose between red or orange or blue. But basically, it's one outfit made out of polyester. Hoka hey, la la la. Do do do. On my way. Yeah. So Kermit the Frog. Someday we'll find it. The rainbow connection. The lovers, the dreamers, and me. All of us under mind control. We know that it's probably MK Ultra. Have you been abducted and cloned by the Illuminati? Do they take you when you sleep? Are you mind controlled? Are you a non-player character? That's what they talk about sometimes. What's that? Non-player characters. You ever wonder if how many people in the world are actually real? What if? Like, you can think inside your head, you remember. You're pretty sure you're not, one of the replicants from Blade Runner. But how do you know for sure that your neighbors aren't just like in video games, non-player characters? They just go off to work and they follow a script and there's downloaded zombies. We assume everybody's a human being, but what if it's not? I don't know, sweetie. I get scared. I'm scaring myself. You think there's clones walking around? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Hey, sweetie, I have an idea. What's that? I could quit calling Michael sweetie and look at you. Yeah, I'm over here. What are you doing? Sorry, Michael. I get turned around. Hi. Ladies and gentlemen, Nana Buju. Hey, everybody. I'm over here. Michael's on the other side. Anyway, sweetie? Yes, dear? Would you be so kind as to teleport me out into the, meadow? I wanna pray. Okay, sweetie. I'm gonna go outside and, put out some tobacco, I guess. All right, you ready, sweetie? Yep. 1 to teleport outside. Teleporting. Hey, don't forget to say what, Captain Picard says. Oh, yeah. Make it so. No, you gotta say energize. All right. Energize. 1 to teleport. Energize. Energizing 1. I don't know. Hello. Hi, sweetie. Oh, good. You made it out there in one piece? Yep, I'm okay. All right, great. Well, give me a call when you want me to pick you up. Okay. Roger that. Roger that. Over and out. Over and out. Bloop. So, yeah. Thought I might as well. Sometimes it's not a bad idea to... When I was a little girl, they taught me, you should get up before the sun. Put out your tobacco before the sun comes up. And I was like, why? What does God go back to sleep? You gotta get out there before the sun comes up. Put out your tobacco. But still, it's probably not a bad idea. But the sun's, well up. And I'm gonna pray anyway. So I got a little asema. And I'm gonna say, "Get you, Manadu." Yes, my daughter. Oh, hi! Ladies and gentlemen, the Great Spirit. Hello, everybody. How are you? How you doing? Oh, I'm doing just fantastic. How are you, my daughter? Yeah, I was going to put out some tobacco, say a little prayer. Oh, you go right ahead. Okay. So I say, "Get you, Manadu, Great Spirit. Otapana niwi asema. Thanks on my tobacco. Natasha Nindijana cause. It's Natasha. Miigwech. Kaiji ao bamadiziyan. Thank you for my life. And thank you for everything. Thank you for my health. Thank you for providing for me. Thank you for giving me so many cool friends. Thank you for my family. I don't know. Sometimes I learn this. This is for anybody little who might stumble onto this. When I was a little kid, it was really easy to pray. You go, "Oh, dear Jesus, please bring me a puppy," or whatever. It's so stupid. And then you grow up and you start going, okay, what is this prayer? What am I doing? Worshipping? I don't think so. You start to think too much about it. You don't know how to pray. But then it kind of came back full circle and I was like, oh yeah, no, I used to get it. Go ahead and start out with thanking him. That's a form of worship, I guess. But when you start counting your blessings, sometimes that in itself will fix all your problems. Most of the time we're being sort of, I don't know if we're probably being brainwashed. They're always like giving us bad news in the media, in the news. And you start focusing all your energy and attention on all bad stuff. When your mind is filled with stuff you're afraid of happening and stuff that you're sad that happened, and it's really, you can really get sad. You can get depressed. But if you start just listing the things you're grateful for and really start to get into it. Like if somebody had a gun to your head and they said, listen, man, you better come up with 20 things you're thankful for or I'm going to blow your brains out. You get real serious, right? I'm not sure why anybody would do that, but let's say it happened. But by the time you go through 20 things that you're grateful for, you forget what you were, afraid of or upset about. Gratitude, miigwetchi wendem, being thankful is, it's like a superpower. If you want to overcome anxiety, overcome worry, get really good at feeling grateful for stuff. Just everything, right away. So, I'm so glad I got glasses. I can see so much farther with my glasses. No. I'm so glad I got, earlobes. What if I didn't have an ear like Paul Stanley and Van Gogh? I'd only need one earring. That'd be weird. But I'm grateful I'm healthy. I'm grateful I have enough money for my food, my rent, and all my bills. I'm grateful that I live in a peaceful place and I'm not in danger. I'm grateful that I'm not in jail. I'm grateful that I'm not sick. I don't have the COVID. I'm grateful that I didn't take the vaccination, because who knows what that is. I'm grateful, that I'm no longer working at these certain places. I'm grateful that I had the school I did. I'm grateful that I had the family I did. I'm grateful that I can keep going. I'm thin, I got long hair. I'm grateful I can play guitar. I'm grateful I can sing. I'm grateful that I can ride my bicycle. I'm grateful I have friends. I'm grateful that I've been able to know true love. I'm grateful that, what else? I'm grateful for all the things that never happened to me that could have really wrecked my life. I'm grateful that I never accidentally did something so stupid that I really wrecked someone else's life, I think. I don't think I've done that. But you can go on and on. And the fun thing is when you get to a place where you go, okay, what else? What else can I be grateful for? Oh, I'm grateful I'm wearing shoes. Oh, good thing I have shoes. Some people have to walk around with no shoes, and that hurts. You can even think of bad times in your life. Oh, I'm so grateful I don't have a toothache anymore. Remember when you had that toothache? Oh, that was so painful. I'm so grateful that right now I have no pain in my body. I'm not sore from anything. My tooth isn't hurting. I don't have Lyme's disease. Whatever, Then it gets fun again, and you realize, oh yeah, I'm focusing on all this good stuff, and I forgot about my problems. Usually worrying doesn't do anything anyway. Oh no, what if I get fired? You can ruin your whole weekend by thinking about your job. Oh no, I hope I don't get fired. I hate that job. But if it's better than having to look for another job. What if I don't have money? And meanwhile, you can't enjoy anything because you're afraid of something that may or may not happen. Well, don't even think about it. Worrying doesn't help. And also holding a grudge doesn't help. There's an old Buddhist saying where they go, holding a grudge is like drinking poison, hoping it'll kill your enemy. So, I'm going to get you. So miigwetch, get you mad I do for my life, for my experiences, for the path I've been on. It seems like, you've really taken care of me well, and in spite of the way I live and stuff, so thank you so much.
Well, me daughter, you're more than welcome.
Oh, thanks. And, yeah. Ape Inge. Amen. And I just sprinkle some tobacco. Or put it in a pipe and smoke that stuff up. That's right, kids. It's okay to smoke tobacco. Today's Sesame Street is brought to you by... No. Oh, OMG, her head is on backwards. What? I gotta go back. La 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 la. Kaya Thunder! I'm here just working away. She's taking care of business. Because she's working for a living. Wait, taking what they're given. Well, I was promised a future of skin-tight spandex for all. I feel like I was lied to. Yeah, what happened to our skin-tight spandex? We asked for one thing in the 80s. Spandex. You know? Yeah, I'll just find a ripped-up t-shirt to wear over it. But if I can get the spandex pants, then I can rock and roll all night and party every day. And I still don't have them. They took away our parachute pants. They never delivered on the spandex. Wally Bear says, no camel foot part with it. What? How dare you, Wally Bear? OMG, your head is on backwards. Whose head are you talking about? I don't know. La la la. Do 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 do. So, I don't know. Get you mad to do. I think I better go home.
Okay, sweetie. I'll talk to you again. Giga Wabba Min. Now, Gudge.
Oh, yeah. Erminawa.
Oh, that's right. Talk to you.
Anyway.
Okay, this is Nana Bujo. Please leave your message at the beep. Beep. Nah.
Sweetie.
Hey, you want me to pick you up?
Yeah, could you?
All right, hang on. I'm going to scan for your coordinates. And for crying out loud, don't move.
Why?
Well, if you move at the wrong time, I'll only teleport part of your body, and it means certain death.
Hikes. Well, be careful.
Okay, locking in. 1 to teleport.
Energize.
Energizing. Hey, welcome back.
Why? I feel so energized.
Do you?
Yeah, it's like I just had a Red Bull. Red Bull gives you wings, honey.
That's what I hear.
So, what did we learn today, kids? Not much. We learned that Thursday is Neo Geisha good. Huh, sweetie?
Yep, the 4th day.
And we learned Noonday Minakwe, Noonday Minakwe. I'm thirsty. And Nimbuckaday, Nimbuckaday. I'm hungry. And Brian Souls is hungry for righteousness. Thanks. I thirst and hunger for righteousness. Nugwayab is the rainbow. And we learned that you know what it makes me think of?
What's that?
Remember when Alex Jones, there's like a famous clip where he's getting upset about something. He was like, they're putting a fluoride in the water and it's turning into frogs gay. The omakaki. He's turning the frogs into two spirits.
Yeah, that's right.
And now I think he might have been onto something, because look at what's happening on Sesame Street. Kermit's like singing with transgendered women. Gonzo is transitioning. You know, the Rainbow Connection. Well, what's the Rainbow Connection? Kermit's like the Pied Piper. He's gonna take all of his kids and bring them into Babylon. Here you go, kids. Have fun. It's Transgendered Story Hour. Choose your gender. All right. Well, what can I say? We've come to the end of the show. Don't know what we do. Don't know where to go. Oh, wait, I didn't tell how to pronounce that. Nugwayab. Rainbow. Nugwayab. Omakaki. Omakaki. Someday we'll find it. the Rainbow Connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me, all of us under its spell. We know that it's probably magic. I don't know. Sweetie? What? You want to say anything before I sign out? Hey, miigwech ganawabi egg, everybody. Thank you for watching the show. Oh, very good. Michael, Rockstar Cartoonist, you want to say anything? Thanks so much for watching the show, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow. Well, look at you boys. Right on task or whatever. Okay, everybody. Miigwech ganawabi egg. Thank you so much for watching Boozhoo Nana Boozhoo, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. I am Natasha. This is Nana Boozhoo. That is Michael. And I will see you again. Giga welcome in. Minnawaha. Baby, 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 baby. Yeah. Alright, sweetie. One to teleport. One teleporting away like a precious little butterfly in the wind. Giga welcome in. Minnawaha.